Now that you've generated a bunch of ideas for creating content, you want to find a way to organize those ideas. You see, if you're anything like me, you're going to get content ideas in some of the weirdest places at some of the weirdest times. Like, I will get content ideas while I'm standing in line at the grocery store, while I am reading other people's content, while I am mowing the lawn, sometimes even while I'm in the shower. Like, ideas will just pop in my head. And I'm the type of person, if I don't capture that idea right away and get it written down, I forget it. And so there have been times where I've had this awesome idea, and as I've gotten to the place where I'm like, okay, I can actually sit down and create this content now, I completely forgot what that idea was. And that is the worst feeling in the world when you're trying to produce content. And so what I've done is come up with a system that works for me to capture those ideas and organize them so I have ideas on hand that when I need something to create, and I know what has been created and what has been done. And so really, when it comes to organizing your content, it's what's going to work for you. There's no one system that's going to work for everyone because everyone's brain works differently. So you need to find a system that works for you. But I figured what I would do is share with you what my system is, and then just some things to look for in a system that is going to really be beneficial for you. Now, what I've done is create a resource for you that I've linked in the comments below that walks through all of this and gives you a checklist of things to make sure that this organizational system can do for you. But really, what I do is I use this application called Evernote, because it can be on all my devices. And the way I've set it up is I have a LinkedIn notebook, and under that notebook, I have 3 sub notebooks. One that is titled Content Ideas. And so as I get an idea, I create a note and I stick it in that notebook. So all my ideas are in one place, that if I am getting ready to create content and I have no idea what to create, I have backup ideas in this notebook of every thought that I had for content ideas. Next, I have an in-progress notebook. And this notebook is what I do is I take the ideas out of the idea notebook and stick them into this in-progress notebook when I start getting ready to create that content. And I'll start thinking through and putting thoughts down in that note so that when I get ready to actually create it, I have some ideas and notes to go ahead and start moving forward. And when it's done, and it's published and it's out there, I move it out of the in-progress notebook and put it into a notebook titled Done. So that way I know what ideas are still ideas, what are in progress, and what is done, so I don't have to think about it anymore. This is what works for me. Some people do more of a system where they categorize their ideas by topic. So they have maybe a topic on dreams, or a topic on content, or a topic on business, and they categorize their notes based on that. You need to find out what works for you. But as you're looking at different systems, there are a few things you want to make sure that it has. And the very first and most important one is that it's easy to capture your ideas. You do not want something that's going to take you 15 minutes to dig out and try to get your idea written down, because by then you're going to forget it, or something is going to distract you and you're not going to get it written down. You want something that you can easily capture that idea and get it in. You want something that you can have with you. It's why I use Evernote, because it can be on all my devices. It's on my phone, it's on my laptop, it's on my computer at work. So anytime I have an idea, I can quickly add it and be done with it and not have to think about it. You want something that is fast. If you're using a piece of software, like an app or a website, you want something that you can make sure is cloud-based or downloadable. Because the worst thing in the world is when you have a bunch of ideas stored and your device breaks down and it's not backed up. So if it's a cloud-based system like Evernote, doesn't matter if your computer breaks down, it is out there. All you have to do is log back in and everything is there. So make sure that it's back, that you can back it up. Some people like to use a notebook, a small notebook that they carry around, which is a great idea. For me, it doesn't work because I lose notebooks like that. I will not lose my phone, which is why I use Evernote. But if you are more of a, I have to actually write it down and cross it off, get yourself a little notebook that you are not gonna lose. You need to find a system that is easy to use, one that is not going to take you 20 minutes to get set up and to work through anytime you want to move an idea to a different category. If you are using software, find something that allows you to use tags or labels. That way you can not only organize your content by stage that it's in, but you also can organize it by what the topic is. So if you are trying to find ideas on, let's say, content, you can tag all your ideas based on content with that tag and just search for content and see all of your ideas together. You want something that fits within your budget or uses something that you already own, so it's not an extra expense. I already had Evernote. I've been using Evernote for years, so it just made sense to use it to organize my content. But as I said, there's a resource in the comments below that includes these ideas as well as more of what to look for in a system to organize your content. I've also included some tools or some systems that you can use like Evernote and Trello and a notebook and other things that you can turn to organize your content. That is in the resource that is in the comments below. But as always, if you have any questions on how to organize your content ideas, leave them in the comments below or shoot me a message. I am more than happy to help you. But those of you who do organize your ideas already, tell us, what do you do? How do you keep track of your ideas? How do you capture them? How do you organize them and be able to use them so you know what's used and what isn't? Leave those in the comments below so we can all learn together and get better at organizing our content. And until tomorrow, when I've got some more advice and more tips for you, I hope you all have a great day.